guys, it's Franchiser Randy here, and I am bringing you the very first commentary on the Libertarian Gaming Network.
Bravo,
and
team.
Today, what I'm really going to talk to you about is just me. I'm going to introduce me and talk about what I believe, so that if you see a video that I post on here, a commentary that I post, you're not like, what? I'm just going to be straightforward and upfront with what I believe, and so you'll know what to expect from commentaries from me. So I'm going to start with my religious views. I'm going to go ahead and start with that. So I grew up in church pretty much my entire life. I grew up in church, and I went to a church for a really long time, and you know, it was pretty much felt just, it was in my family. And a bunch of crap went down, and I realized that a lot of people's distaste and dislike for the church and Christians was unfortunately true. and you know, I got to see the hypocrisy and stuff like that firsthand. And it kind of sucked because, like I said, I mean, there's a lot of people there that were my family, but sometimes, you know, it's just like in political situations, you get these, you get power-hungry people, and it just doesn't end well. And so I got to kind of, so I understand sometimes when people talk about those kind of things and talk about how, you know, they tried church, but, you know, too many hypocrites and stuff like that. I totally can sympathize with them and understand. But what I found is, just because, and I'll relate this to the political thing, just because this is the Libertarian Gaming Network. Just because you know, some libertarians do things that I disagree with, or stuff like that, doesn't mean I'm gonna stop being a libertarian because I disagree with some of them. You know what I'm saying? So just because I disagreed with what happened at this church didn't mean that I was going to stop going to church or decide not to be a Christian or anything like that. So, like I said, I grew up in church since I was a little kid, and still go to church every week. I play guitar on the worship team at my church, and for now I teach children's church every 3 weeks or something like that. But I believe in God. I believe in the Bible. I believe that, unfortunately, people try to use the Bible and God to their advantage and to hurt other people sometimes, and that's you know, what gives Christians a bad name. I also believe that some of the Bible, mainly a lot of the stuff in the Old Testament, was written for that time and those people. And so I know, especially the older generation likes to kind of pick and choose verses. Oh, well, you can't get tattoos because of this verse. And the only verse I've heard is this one in Leviticus, which was instructions to the Levitical priest. And I'm always like, I'm not a Levitical priest, so if I want to get a tattoo, it's fine. But I believe that a lot of things, a lot of the Christian walk is your relationship with God, or your relationship with Jesus. And sometimes people try to make your relationship or your, you know, Christian walk about them. And they want to tell you the things that you're doing wrong and stuff like that. And it's all on you, you know. I decided a long time ago that I was gonna, you know, read the Bible and figure out what I believe and believe it with everything I got. And so that's kind of what, some of that is actually learned from my cousin, who we'll talk about that when we get into the political stuff. So that's pretty much, that's what I believe as far as my religious beliefs. I'm a Christian. I go to church. I believe that Jesus died for my sins, rose again on the third day. All of that stuff, I believe it. And so you'll probably, but I do have respect for other people's opinions. That's a big thing I want to make sure that everybody knows, is that's what I believe, and I know that not everybody believes that, but you know, I'm not one of those kind of Christians that gives us the bad name. I respect everybody's beliefs, even if they don't agree with me. So that's my religious beliefs. Now my political beliefs. This is thanks to my dad. Most of my life, I was hardcore right-wing Republican. I'm talking Rush Limbaugh every day. George Bush was my hero. The whole 9 yards. And my cousin, this is where my cousin Brian comes in, which you'll be hearing some more about him in a different commentary later in the week. But he is the one that kind of helped me to think for myself and figure out. That taught me that I had to figure out on my own what to believe, and then just jump in. I'll never forget, because he used to ask me stuff, and I had no answers. I had no answers for it. I mean, he would be like, he'd ask me a question about the war on terror, and I would have no answers, and I just had to brush him off or say something smart or something like that, because I didn't have an answer. And so he kind of challenged me to really start thinking about some of that stuff, and then I did start questioning it. I'm like, well, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with this. I started thinking on my own and realizing that I didn't agree with the Republican philosophy and a lot of the things that were going on, and that I knew that the war on terror was just a mistake and it's awful, and it's not something that can ever be won, and so it's just an endless pit that we're throwing ourselves into. Lost. And so
Zone A lost.
I started looking at that, and I'm like, well, I don't think I'm a Republican. And then I started looking at it, and I'm like, I know for sure I'm not a Democrat.
Only 5 minutes left.
And so I'm like, I don't even know what I am. So I changed my voter ID from Republican to Independent, just because I didn't know what to do at that point. And then I moved to Texas.
Zone B neutralized.
Home of the free and land of the cows. And
Zone B secure.
It was awesome. I really did enjoy living there. My mom still lives there. I go and visit sometimes. But I had some friends down there who kind of thought the same way that I did.
Zone C.
And
Zone A neutralized.
I started learning about some actual specific people and stuff like that, and that's where I first heard of Ron Paul. And he was actually the first time I got to vote. He was the one I voted for. And I was like, I started to understand that there was another group out there, the Libertarians, and I started to learn about them and what they believed, and I'm like, I agree with this. I definitely agree with this. And so that's kind of how I became a Libertarian. And so I'm trying to think of what else here. I am a Republican. Wash my mouth out with soap. I'm a Libertarian. I'm a Christian. So you're gonna just expect that kind of stuff from my commentaries, stuff about religious stuff and God and stuff like that, and also stuff about politics, but from a libertarian perspective. And nasty two-piece right there, man. That was nice. And so that's kind of what to expect from me. I know that I also said in the intro video that we were going to be talking about family and stuff like that, and we definitely will be. I do feel like family is very important, especially over this past week, which you'll hear more of that in an upcoming commentary. But family is definitely important, and so I'm going to be talking about family a lot in commentaries and stuff like that. And I definitely want to know, what you guys, if there's any topics that you guys want to talk about.
Captured Zone A.
I definitely, being a libertarian, I am very I place very high priority on privacy and stuff like that, so you know I'll be covering some of the NSA stuff and Edward Snowden stuff. And I know that a lot of people have already covered some of that, but I'm gonna still cover it too.
Zone A. Zone C.
Over gameplay. And speaking of gameplay, real quick, I want to let you know you are seeing some Destiny gameplay, one of my better games. I didn't get a ton of time to play it, and I didn't play it as much as I wish I could have. But you are seeing one of my better gameplays here, and it's such a fun game. But I think I actually go get a positive kill-death ratio, which is nice. And we win, and at one point they had us 3 capped, and
Zone A
so
lost.
in almost every other game I played, when my team or their team 3 capped, it was almost over. I mean, it's like there was hardly anything you could do to come back, but we did it. And so, but anyway, like I said, I want to know what you guys want to see, you know, what subjects you guys want to talk about. Make sure to follow me and this channel's Twitters on Twitter, obviously.
You have total
and
control.
you know, you can throw anything out there, any ideas or anything like that of things that you want to see. And if there's something that you want to discuss, then you know, from like a libertarian perspective, obviously, then you know, record a commentary. It's really easy. You can just use Audacity on your computer and a mic, and just record a commentary. And I've got plenty of gameplays saved up on my computer. Or you could, you know, you can send a gameplay with it if you want to use your own gameplay or something like that. But I definitely want this to kind of be a community channel. Obviously, a monitor community channel. I'm gonna, you know, watch and stuff the videos and comment, listen to the commentary before I post them. Just because I want to try and keep it kind of family friendly.
Zone C secure.
But
total
yeah, so
good work.
We lost this game. I didn't want to say it until it actually showed it on here.
Next time.
My team lost. I just talked about how we came back. Well, my team lost, and it was kind of sad. But it was a really, really close game, and I felt like we won at heart. But you'll see here in a second. I felt like this game's like Titanfall. I feel like I get a lot more kills, and turns out I only got 11. But I had a 1 KD, so that was good enough for me. But this is your boy, Franchise or Randy. Please leave a like if you did enjoy. Let me know down in the comment section what you want to see. And until next time, keep seeking liberty. Peace.